Hello, and welcome to... Because that's how I feel right now, because I am so obsessed with Saltburn. It has not left my brain for about a week and a half, basically since it came out on Amazon Prime. My little noggin, my little peanut brain has been thinking about Saltburn. That movie, I think, took out this little brain, rewired it, like, you know, and then, like, put it back in, and now I can't stop thinking of Barry Keoghan. You know, it's just a thing that's going on in my little caveman girl brain, and that's fine. I think everyone is exhibiting this psychosis, this maybe group psychosis over the movie Saltburn. Is psychosis even the right word? This isn't a movie review. This isn't even really an overview. I'll tell you briefly what the movie's about, only because if you haven't seen it, you need context. However, that's on you. It's on Amazon Prime, included with Prime Video. If you don't have it, log into your friend's account. Like, what are you doing? Me personally, the second I heard about this movie, I was like, oh God, okay, like I gotta watch this, damn. So if you haven't had that urge yet, or if you've had that urge and you still haven't watched it, what is going on? Officially, I've watched the movie 2 times. One time as like a safety watch, I was like, I can't watch this with anyone else, just in case, like I gotta watch this alone. This headband is hurting my head already. If it comes off at some point in the video, no, it didn't. So, I've watched the movie twice. Yeah, I've really seen like an uptick in people posting about the movie on social media, conversations around certain scenes. I'd already seen it prior to watching the movie because obviously it had a theatrical release. I didn't go to that because I don't like movie theaters. Movie theater's scary. But I did hear certain things about it from people who watched it, and they were like, wow, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. And so I'm going into this like, wow, this is going to be like the craziest movie I've ever seen. It wasn't. I feel like if this movie didn't have Jacob Elordi in it, and like hot guys, period, I feel like maybe it wouldn't get as much hype as it has. I feel like the conversation surrounding it, especially with how scandalous people feel it is, comes from people who aren't big into film or don't watch crazy shit. I would say that I'm not really big into film, but I was not fazed by this movie. The scene I was fazed by was the scene where Oliver gets caught lying about his parents to Felix, where they're like talking about all the vacations they go on and how awesome their son is and how he has sisters. And Felix is just like, because Oliver lied his ass off for the first half of the movie. That physically repulsed me. I'm sorry, I couldn't deal with that. I wanted to shut my laptop screen. I did not want to watch that. Since I've watched it, I've seen even more of that commentary talking about how crazy it is. And the internet's reaction has been very interesting to me. So my favorite movie of all time is A Clockwork Orange. Should I admit that on the internet? Probably not. It's fine though. I just feel like a lot of the scenes in A Clockwork Orange are a bit more like remarkably disturbing than what you see in Saltburn, but that's just me. I don't know. Saltburn has really taken the internet by storm. And I have almost opinions on what people have been saying on the internet. I think the hype around certain scenes is overblown. I'll say it. The bathtub scene could have been worse. Like, way worse. So, if you don't know, the bathtub scene is Jacob Elordi's character Felix is taking a bath and is doing something to himself that he likes. Oliver comes into the bathroom because they share a bathroom after having spied on Felix doing this act. Once the bathtub water is mostly drained and Felix has left the room, Barry Keoghan's character, Oliver, basically, like, drinks up what's left. It's water. Like, you can see it very visually. It's water. It's not that gross. Maybe the water was a little cloudy.
Oh, my God.
Okay, whatever. That's fine. Like, Another scene that I've seen people be particularly offended by is the scene in which Oliver pleasures a woman. Venetia, her name is, Felix's sister. She has what my boyfriend and I like to call the moon sickness. She describes it as the wrong time of the month. So there's like visible bodily fluids that are red, and he's like, eating it. Again, not too bad, because it's kind of, it could have been worse. And that's all I'll say about that. The grave scene, now that, I can't defend that much. However, I'm going to try to defend it. I just think it shows the extent of where obsession with a person can go. Especially with a sociopathic / psychotic character such as Oliver. It just shows how far he's willing to go with his obsession with Felix. Now, not saying it's right to pleasure a grave. How do you say this? Like, how do you say this that it's like not impolite for YouTube? He gets freaky with a grave, and you see parts of him. And it goes on for a bit too long, but Emerald Fennell was objectifying men as she should. And then there's the last scene in the entire movie that I actually said, like, upon first watch, I was like, this entire scene could be cut from the movie. And, like, you kind of wouldn't lose anything. And then upon second watch, I was like, nah, you kind of need this scene. You kind of do need this scene. Oliver runs through the halls naked. Well, he doesn't run, he dances. And you see everything. Every part of Barry Keoghan is on display as he's dancing through the hallways. I think this movie was made for the girls, by the girls, and I kind of don't have a problem with it. Speaking of dancing and the song that plays during that scene, there were two songs that were very notable in the movie. So there's Perfect, in parentheses, Exceeder, by Mason and Princess Superstar. That one, truly, like, runway. Apparently it was on a runway. I think Versace '08 or something, spring '08. I'm not a fashion girly. And it really does make you feel like you're, like, strutting, like, okay, let me take this off. It makes you feel like you're strutting, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, hi, hello. It's just perfect for going viral on TikTok for all the girlies who like to be hot on camera. And then there's also Murder on the Dance Floor, Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Run her money. Honestly, she literally is having her Kate Bush running up that hill, Stranger Things season 4 moment. Both of these songs are catchy enough, poppy enough to have their little choruses, their little sound bites go viral on TikTok. And that has really contributed to this movie's hype because it's a trending sound on TikTok. And a lot of people will see a sound that's trending and just use it in their videos. And then someone will be like, wow, this song's pretty good. And then they'll click on the sound. And then you see all these videos pop up about this movie called Saltburn. And you're like, what is that? And then you see Jacob Elordi and you're like, oh, that's a beautiful person. I think another thing that really helped was an Amazon Prime release. It became more accessible to the zeitgeist, the general population. So more people were able to talk about it. Like me personally, like I said, I didn't go to the movies to see it. I was only going to watch it if I was at home. But I guess the movie is kind of a criticism of the rich, and it's also centers around a psycho who's trying to kill the rich. It shows the rich in a way that, you know, they just are very throwaway about things. And I feel like people, because Oliver did turn out to be like a bad guy, forget that the movie's also a commentary on rich people, and they had their scenes where they were horrendously out of touch. I've seen videos of rich people like parading through their mansions to murder on the dance floor, much like Oliver does at the end of the movie, but like they don't get it. You know, like Rob list. Okay, I'm writing you down on my Rob list. What? Why do you have a house that big? I would store so much Trader Joe's chili onion hummus in a house that big. Seriously, give me the West Wing. I'll take it. I'll store my hummus and I'll be very happy. But these rich people are parading through their houses in their pretty dresses or whatever they're doing, like totally not getting it. totally not getting the movie. And I think that's where the Saltburn haters come in. This movie kind of seemed to embolden the rich and the beautiful people, you know, the people that are untouchable in society, and it very much glamorized characters like Venetia and Felix, who are just richer than they know what to do with, and they're kind of just aloof and whatever. And that's not what real life is. That was really annoying. My microphone stopped recording. I literally went up on my soapbox about audio quality, and then that happened. Because of this emboldening and latching onto this aesthetic by rich and beautiful people, I think a lot of people who don't resonate with that aesthetic almost feel like the movie's glorifying it, and so they're criticizing the movie, and then they're also analyzed the movie and almost overanalyzed it. And for real, like, film buffs or like film Twitter people, they don't like it because they're like, ugh, Felix is wearing angel wings in that scene and he's the good guy. Boring. And then there's also like foreshadowing things, and they're like, oh, it's so predictable. Buh. Like, okay, relax. They started to hate Saltburn, I think, because of the internet reaction. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. Whatever. I don't have a problem with the movie. It's fun. Like, that's the crux of it. And it got more hype than a movie like this was expected to get. You know, the Barbies and the Oppenheimers, they all expect the hype. I feel like Saltburn, it really wasn't marketed, was it? I don't know. I'm out of the loop on things. Because of how fast the internet moves, so many people started idolizing it and then hating it. And that's just like the way the internet goes. There has to always be two camps of someone who absolutely loves it and there can be nothing wrong with it, and then the people who absolutely hate it and there could be nothing right with it. I do love it though, and I have it as a brain rot, and maybe there is nothing wrong with it, and maybe I'm on this camp over here, and that's fine. I think if they made it more psychosexual, and I think if they maybe had Barry Keoghan and Jacob Elordi hook up a little bit, I think people would be even more happy with it. Let me know what you thought of Saltburn, if you thought it was as disturbing as a lot of people were making it out to be, because I didn't, but that's just me, and I don't know if there's something wrong with me. You're just feeding into the hype if you're like, that was so crazy, oh my god, the bathtub scene! Ah! You are a pansy. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully anything I said just made sense, and look out for more videos from me coming up soon. I don't know. I have a full-time job, so we'll see if I keep this thing up. Love you. Bye.